and welcome to Herp A Derpers, a podcast about breaking the stigma on herpes and empowering the community. I'm your host, Erin DeVos. As always, you can review my episodes on YouTube, Anchor, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find the link to the channel on the podcast's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter page at Herp A Derpers Podcast. Thanks!
Hey Herp A Derpers, I really hope you enjoyed the last episode about talking about living life sexually healthy. And I know I've kind of touched point on a few of those before when it comes to, sexual health and making sure that we are checking up on ourselves in terms of our physical well-being. I want to take another spin on that this week and kind of look into our emotional health as well, and especially when it comes to social relationships and even dating. This is kind of basing it off of experience that I've recently gone through when it comes to dating in a new city. And, a completely different lifestyle than I had been used to. And it just seems that the dating pool and those who I've been talking with and being open with just seem so genuine and so understanding that it always makes me think and wonder about the notion of, when I admit that I have herpes, does that mean that the acceptance or rejection, but mostly the acceptance means that is this person the one for me, just because they are able to accept the fact of what I have and respect that. And, this all comes from the fear after having a positive herpes diagnosis. It's often centered around rejection and self-acceptance and the love we have for ourselves and with others. Then the question if someone will always love us again still arises and causes us to overthink about herpes and our own means to have a love of our own. So, back to the point of when someone who comes along and accepts you for having herpes, we get off guard and we lift ourselves up knowing that there's hope in the world and less worries about herpes. I mean, I certainly did in my past few dates that I had since moving here. It just seems everyone seems open and, they aren't herpes positive men, but it allowed me to be more at ease, to be more myself, that much more. And I was digging deep into myself, like, well, why is that? Why do I feel like I have this sense of acceptance? And I think it's because it made me think of, for a moment, that I am worthy and that of their love and acceptance, that if they accept my herpes diagnosis, that one of them is the one for me, that I feel it's my soulmate just because that they accepted me, and that, the stigma can lead us to believe that love is a fairy tale and that only princes and princesses deserve the purest and unaffected people, the worthy. And we romanticize the fact that once we are accepted, we can be ourselves again. And this made me realize that relationships should stand more than just between them accepting you for having herpes and what the relationship could really be. And the reason why that is because you deserve to stand more for your herpes status too. Know that self-respect and others respecting you go hand in hand. There has to be that balance and knowing where those boundaries are coming from, which is the basis of the name of this episode. And the stigma can take us into this state of mind that falls into the lines of depression and desperation of wanting to be more than herpes. And that's a wall we cannot get around because no one will love us if we don't like herpes. And it teaches us that we are unworthy of physical and emotional affection. And I'm here to remind you, and also to remind myself, like, in the world when it comes to dating and being vulnerable and saying your herpes diagnosis out loud. Like, yes, I have a podcast, I have Herp A Derp to talk about this, but it's always something that's been in the back of my mind in terms of the fear. The stigma is there, and that, you know, it's there in others, not necessarily so much in myself, but it's always that, you know, that back trending thought of, you know, we have to take care of ourselves and our body, and, you know, essentially to talk the boundaries that herpes, you know, may be bound within your body, but it shouldn't be what binds your relationship. And so, you know, I want to know and let you guys know that, you know, we have to think highly of ourselves every day, even when it comes to, you know, dating, when it comes to work, when it comes to family dynamics and friendships. That just know that, you know, you are not bind to what we have and what the HSV and herpes virus really is to us. And we are more than our diagnosis. We are more than herpes. We are more than the stigma. We are greater. We are stronger than how it has power to control over us. But I'm here to remind you that we are only human, and know that, you know, these things come up for me too. And I just want you to know that this is a very special message, and love yourself because you are truly one of a kind. Mwah.
As always, feel free to share or comment on this podcast episode through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email at herpaderpodcast@gmail.com. Anchor listeners can now leave voicemail messages after listening to the podcast episode to get those deep reflections. It's super fun to do, and share your thoughts.